Going to believe who I'm with here. My close personal friend, the one, the only, Mr. Mike Matheny.
I've never seen you before in my life.
All right, Mike. We can agree to disagree, but one thing we can agree on.
Get your baseball news at one Cardinal, one Cub, and one beer.
With your favorite, Vince Hopper?
And the other guy?
JJ?
Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to our next meeting. This isn't a meeting.
It's a get-together. How's that?
It's a get-together. One Cardinal, one Cup, and one beer. We were gone last week, and the tears, we felt your tears. You're missing us and all that other stuff. It's very sad. So, because we missed last week, I'm going to do a very special edition of Beer Corner.
Yes, it's time for some beer. Let's get this thing started.
This is a local beer that from Memphis. I was in Memphis this week and visiting Rebecca and watching her and Brendan perform. And so this is one of their local brews called Fool's Gold. It is done by Crosstown Brewing Company in Memphis, Tennessee. This is a golden lager.
Okay.
Golden lager. So not much information on it, being it is a local brew from Memphis, and I can find nothing as far as a website or anything. So I am going to go ahead and pop open our Fool's Gold.
Now, how'd you find out about Fool's Gold? Were you at a restaurant where they were serving it, or you just stumbled across it?
We were in a supermarket, and Rebecca said, "Hey, you need to get some local beers for your beer corner." And so this is one of the ones she suggested. So,
all right.
And here we go.
All right.
Look at that.
Oh, it smells good.
Oh, look at that. In the can mug. Yes.
Yes. There you go.
Hot.
That's a baseball beer right there.
Look at the head on that thing.
Man, how about that?
All right. So, Fool's Gold from Memphis, Tennessee. Let's see what we got here. That's good.
That's good stuff. All right.
It's a 4.
Oh, on the upper scale, 4 is really good.
Love it, love it, love it. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, make sure that you do subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see our information as soon as it drops. Those of you who are on Facebook, make sure that you like us on Facebook, follow our Facebook page, and remember, we do have our contest going. Players that I post on Facebook Wednesday, right after I post the show. So you can go onto Facebook, and all you have to do is like the picture. And if you don't like the picture, you can send me a message and say, "Hey, the player this week is Richie Zisk, who was last week." So if you do that or like the picture and you're first, you get your name put on a slip of paper. And at the end of the season, you will have your name in a hat. And I will have a bunch of merch for you with our new logo on it. That last week 2 weeks ago, I was wearing a shirt. Being I've been so busy this past week, I haven't had time to print up other things. Hopefully that's done by next week. Coffee mug, water bottle, mouse pad, and 2 tickets to the game of your choice. And if you get your name put in the hat 20 times, and this goes on for 30 weeks, then you've got a 2 out of 3 shot, a 667 shot, a division winner as far as winning this thing. If you only put your name in once, if you only get it once and you only put your name in, but we reach in that hat and we grab your name and say, "Hey, Martha Jones won," and she says, "Oh my gosh, I only entered one time." That's the way it goes.
It was meant to be.
Increase your chances of winning. Make sure that you like as many as you can, or send us a message as much as you can. So far, Marlon Dixon in our 5 weeks of doing this has been 4 times. 4 times.
Marlon. All right. Very good,
So,
Marlon.
Make sure that you do that. If you'd like to contact us, you can do it through one of our platforms. You can either email us at onecard1cup1beer@gmail.com, or you can send us an instant message, a direct message. You can put a comment under one of our posts or on the YouTube channel or anything, you can get a hold of us that way. And if you'd like to support us on Patreon, you go to patreon.com. You type in there one Cardinal, one Cub, and one beer in the search bar, and you will find us. And you can support our efforts, and that is greatly appreciated. I'm going to start with some sad news.
Oh, all right. Well, I
It's
understand.
It depends on how you look at it, okay? For one person, it's happy news. For me, it's kind of bittersweet news. My son Max, who used to be on here quite a bit before he moved to Omaha and worked evenings and nights and stuff, he is getting a transfer.
Yeah.
And
Where would that be?
oh, I was hoping Chesterfield or Chicago. He's getting transferred to Seattle.
See, oh, you couldn't go further away, man. But hey, now you can go up to Seattle. That's right.
Oh, and he's moving the beginning of June. It's not like he's got a few months. He wasn't tremendously happy in Omaha. He was doing a good job for Amazon. People are noticing. People who've moved on to other places who was his superior noticed. And one of the reasons he got this position is because without him knowing it, someone had already vouched for him. So when he had his interview, they said, "Oh yeah, we know all about you already." So that was pretty cool. But Max is moving to Omaha, and um, I haven't seen him since Christmas, and it looks like I won't see him possibly until next Christmas. So we've got that going on. I was gone this week, went to Memphis. My daughter Rebecca, next year will be her last year of her PhD program. She's getting her doctorate in piano. Yes, that is a real thing. And she had a recital. And then the last five pieces of the recital, her boyfriend Brendan, who's been on here many times, the Milwaukee Brewers fan, he's an opera singer. He sang the last five selections that she had because they were from operas. Three of the operas were in German and two of them were in Russian. So I actually asked him, "Do you know those languages?" He said, "No. When they train for opera, they have to take a course and they learn how to sing things phonetically." So even though he had no idea what the heck he was singing about, he did three in German and two in Russian. And I had not had the opportunity to hear him sing. I don't know what I was expecting. He majored in opera. Of course, he's good. But man, once he opened his mouth, it was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. The volume, the range, that rich baritone voice was just beautiful. So then we came home, we spent the night at home, then we had to go to Springfield, to Missouri State, and watch Violet graduate. She's got her undergrad degree. So now all of my kids are done with college, except for Rebecca, who's going for a PhD, and for Violet, who's going for her graduate degree.
Outstanding. Congratulations, Vince. That's fantastic.
I'm not.
Man, how about that?
But I do want to show you something, JJ.
Please.
I don't know if I can get all these in here, but there is a record store, a vinyl store in Springfield called Stick It in Your Ear.
Oh, I like that name.
And I get a lot of vinyl when I go there. Well, last time I was there, they had a bunch of concert posters. I didn't buy any, but I've had my eye on them. Well, not my eye on them because I haven't been back since I thought next time I go there, I'm going to buy some and I'm going to frame them. These are just four of them that I got.
Okay. Oh, the Eagles. The long run tour, 79. Fantastic. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Tickets $15.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was kind of them at the end of their run, wasn't it? 79. Yes.
And I have this one.
Oh, yeah. How about
Rolling
that?
Stones, 1976 with the Doobie Brothers.
I'd never do the Doobie Brothers open for them. That's fantastic.
At the Cow Palace, yes.
Yes, that was where they wrestled out in California.
Yes, it is. And then I have a Grateful Dead free concert with special guests the Kinks, which is my wife's favorite band, in
Whoa.
Middletown, Connecticut at Wesleyan University. And I don't know how
1970.
John Wesley felt about like the Kinks coming to a college named after him, singing about a cross-dresser, but hey, whatever.
You can dance to it.
Oh yeah, Lolo's a great song.
Yes, it is.
And
They-
finally, I got four different ones, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna show you one. One particular band,
Okay.
the Beatles.
Oh, that doesn't get no better than that. 64, February 11th. How
Yes,
about that?
and I have actually a Tommy Rowe album now,
Yeah.
so I'm like, ooh, yeah. I don't know who the
Plus,
Caravels are. I do
I
remember
don't,
the Chiffons, but yeah, there's the Beatles.
yeah.
And a lot of people didn't know that. I guess Paul McCartney was once in the service because he's giving the salute there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. That's son. Hey, Tommy Rowe, what's his? I got his song on the top of my head, but I can't think of it. Da 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 da. What was that song? Do you remember
Dizzy.
what? Oh, was that what his top? I was thinking of something else, but Dizzy was his. Okay, all right. Tommy Rowe.
So anyway, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to for the last few
Oh,
weeks?
Vince, I missed you, man. I was hoping everything was going good. I figured it was, but man, I would just I went down to I ran into people that just love baseball. This one gentleman I hadn't seen in years, and I was like, man, I know you from somewhere. He came around, we were in a traffic jam, and we finally got to the card shop, and he came over and I said, wait a minute, I remember you. You bought lemonade for my kids when they had a stand outside. He goes, who's your kids? And he taught him. He was a music teacher, elementary school. And I hadn't seen him in years. And I said, Mr. Petit? Yeah, that's his name. Mr. Petit, you collect baseball cards? He goes, yes, but I only collect 1982 Donruss, which people aren't really crazy about 1982 Donruss. And you could, when he went in there, he just started saying, where's those 82 Donruss? And they knew he was there. They gave him a whole box. And he said he's going to get a glass of milk and go home and open the whole box of these Donruss cards. And he was the happiest guy in the world. And just been talking baseball with everybody. And a few people said, hey, what's the podcast? I guess I didn't listen closely the last time we did it, that we weren't going to do it. But I picked up some things too. The first thing I picked up, and this is kind of near and dear to you and me, we both love this guy, and I never had anything autographed by him. It was sometimes when you open a pack, you get this thing that says, congratulations, you have an official autograph. But it's Jose Ramirez. I got an autograph of Jose Ramirez.
Wow.
I know. I'm so proud. I always think of you with the 3 home run game you saw in Cleveland. And he's one of my favorite players, active player, probably one of the 5 favorite players of active players. I just think the world of him. Then the NFL has cards that are very popular, but the baseball versions of them aren't. But they're called Home Field Advantage, and every year they have a player, and it's a chrome card. And here's Corbin Carroll. I've shown that before with all the different things around Arizona, but I found a Cardinal one. It's not worth a whole lot right now, but I still want it as this rookie card of Nolan Gorman. And you see the arch, the Clydesdales, the Cardinal, musical letters, the Capitol, the courthouse, just all that stuff. And I just absolutely love these cards. And they're not worth a whole heck of a lot, but I just think they're good looking cards. And they're hard. They're inserts. You just find them every once in a while, and somebody will have one. And when I find them if they're reasonably priced, I buy those. And then this weekend, I posted some pictures on Facebook, but I got to meet Al Grabowski. And I want to tell you something. He was fantastic. I mentioned the podcast. I'm trying to win him over. I bought enough stuff. I got to talk to him for a while. Couldn't have been nicer. But when he's at the signing, they've got him. He's doing something the whole time, signing jerseys, signing cards. I mean, he was busy the whole time. And I think he's got some agreement where he can't advertise anything else. He works for the Cardinals, so he can't really go out and say, hey, I'm endorsing this without the Cardinals' approval. So I was going to have him cut a little promo for us. But he was so nice that I got the 75 Grabowski, which is my favorite set, the 75s. I got him, he signed that. He signed one Brave card. I got this, Vince, this one here, because it has a great Fu Manchu in that picture with the Braves. I love that Fu Manchu picture, so I got a Braves one. The old Hostess cupcake cards, I got him to sign that right there. And look at that. for you young people out there, if you're ever going to be a major league player, penmanship. Look how good his penmanship is. That's outstanding penmanship. Got a few more. I got his rookie card he signed. And Vince, they back then in 71, they put 3 players on him. And I don't know if you can see this, but the guy in the middle is Bob Stinson, who played a little bit with the Mariners. I believe he was a Mariner for a short time. So he had some major league experience too. But clean shaven Al Rabowski on the 71s, and then a postcard. They used to send these out to the fans. He signed that for me. I love that. And then the last 2 big things I got from Al, and I slid one of the cards in there too. I'll say that he looks like Burt Reynolds there, man. Look that's a good looking fella right there, you know. And Al's got to be in his mid 70s now, and he is just felt his waist. I bet he wears 33. He's lean and he's looking good. And the final thing is I got a ball. They had these special balls down there, and it's Al signed right underneath there. Very good penmanship right there. He asked me, "Do you want me to sign anything to it?" And he remembered me. He goes, "Hey, I remember you." And I said, "How do you remember me? You meet all kinds of people." "I don't know. There's something about you." And I said, "Well, I got a face you can't forget, Al. Maybe you watch One Cardinal, One Cub, One Beer." And he goes, "No, that's not it." So anyway, I try to throw that out there, but he did not remember me from the podcast.
Did you tell him that your friend is still aggravated that he all the time when he was on the radio did that stupid the last time the Cubs won a World Series thing?
No, I was trying to win him over. And he just said, "Hey, that's fantastic, man." And he wanted to know where the VA was around there. He goes, "You work at the VA? Where at?" And I said, "Farmington." He goes, "I didn't know they had one." And so we just talked, and he said, "You know, we're gonna get a picture," because I was about to leave, and he goes, "Don't you want a picture?" And I said, "Yeah." So I went over there and we did a buddy picture, and he was just, oh, he was so nice. So they are going to have this in June. They're going to have Matt Adams down there at one a Boys Dream Hobby Shop, and then coming up in the summer, I know Ray Langford's going to be down there again, and somebody else I can't announce yet, but he's going to have a book signing down there, and I'm kind of excited about it. But as soon as I can say something, I will. But so we got a lot of baseball stuff going around here, and I got to meet a lot of the listeners and the viewers, and everybody's just excited about baseball. It's just been a great season for many, many different reasons.
Very good. Very good. Oh, well, let's talk about some baseball.
All right.
Injuries.
Lots of injuries.
Broken wings, broken feet, broken legs. It's terrible.
Oh, man.
Oh, I was watching this game. Reds closer Emilio Pagan. He was against the Cubs, and he just really grabbed his hammy just grabbed. So he's on the 15-day IL with a left hamstring issue. And that was that. Have you ever pulled a hamstring?
Yes. One time I was running. I thought somebody threw a baseball and hit me in the back of the leg. I was like, "What the heck?" Yes, it's very painful.
Yeah, I was playing a softball game and I was sprinting after a ball, and I thought someone shot me in the back of the leg. I really did. I thought I was shot, and I went down and I'm grabbing it and I'm expecting I'm going to find blood, and there was no blood. And my friend Brett Kohlenberger, who's been on this show, the one who plays the old time baseball with the Belleville Stags, he was playing in that game, and he came up to me and he said, "Yeah, you pulled a hamstring." Wow, I thought it was shot. So
yeah,
it was so painful. I had to drive home, and I had a stick shift. It was like,
man,
it hurt so bad
all the way home. Oh man.
So anytime I see someone pull up with a hamstring issue, I'm like, "Oh gosh, that's terrible." Oh, the Tigers are having a bad week. Gleyber Torres is on the 10-day IL with a left oblique strain, and outfielder Kerry Carpenter is on the 10-day IL with a left AC joint sprain. So the Tigers, who are in that division where it's up for grabs because nobody's deciding to play good, they're not doing too well. In Houston, Carlos Correa is on the 10-day IL with a left ankle tendon issue. Roman Anthony for the Red Sox is on the 10-day IL with a right wrist strain. The Angels, Travis Darnell is on the 10-day IL with right foot plantar fasciitis. That is what really derailed Albert Pujols' career.
You're right.
It's a very painful, it sounds stupid, basically a giant wart on your foot, but it's painful. It doesn't just easily go away. And the healing process is a lot of one step forward, two step back, two step forward, a step back. It's very difficult. So there are some people who have plantar fasciitis that are out for a year. So he's on the 10-day IL right now. Hopefully that's something that can be taken care of pretty quickly. The Dodgers, Tyler Glasnow is on the 15-day IL with back spasms, and pitcher Brock Stewart is on the 15-day IL with left foot bone spur. And just throwing this in because he's a former Cardinal, someone you really liked. They have DFA'd outfielder Michael Ciani. So
Yes. Nice guy.
We'll see what happens to him. Jason Dominguez from the Yankees, the Martian, is on the 10-day IL with a left shoulder issue, although we're not sure if Martians have shoulders. So that's probably just because on their part. Pirate outfielder Jake Mangum, 10-day IL, also with a hamstring issue. One of the reasons why the Royals are having trouble taking off is they keep having injuries to their pitching staff. Cole Reagans, the anchor of that staff's on the 15-day IL with left elbow impingement. The Giants, the Giants are not playing good this year.
Yeah.
And they've got talent on the team. I'm wondering how well they are responding to that college coach.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
early and maybe
Yeah.
a little too early to jump to those conclusions. They could get hot and win 12 out of the next 15 or so and, get right back in it. But for the talent they got, they're just,
That's
I
a
don't
good.
know.
Yeah, you know what? That's true. I'm kind of shocked. You're right. I didn't even think about that. They made it. I don't know if you're going to mention that, but they already traded their catcher away. I've got it written somewhere in my notes.
Patrick Bailey to Cleveland for left-handed pitcher Matt Wilkerson.
Yes. Now I read that they had another young guy coming, but Bailey's won the Gold Glove twice, and he's a fantastic catcher. And that's a great pickup for. Was it Cleveland that got him?
Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, and they sent Naylor down to the minors.
Yeah, they sent Bo Naylor to AAA.
I'm liking Bailey on the Indians or the Guardians, but I don't know who. It's a young minor leaguer that the Giants got, so I don't know much about him.
Well, the Giants had Batty was going to be their next great catcher.
Okay.
And that didn't work out. And who's he on now?
Well, the Pirates have Joey Bart.
That's what I meant, Bart, not Batty.
Yeah.
So Bart didn't work out, or they didn't give him a shot to work out. They got rid of him. And then Patrick Bailey,
it's great.
On him. I mean,
yeah.
he has got a cannon. And he's gone. And so Cleveland was so happy they sent Bo Naylor to AAA. Bo Naylor's been up for a while. I'm surprised he had any options.
I guess he's just struggling this year. I hadn't paid that close attention.
Yeah. The Marlins released pitcher Chris Paddock. The Blue Jays DFA pitcher Eric Lauer. And I'll get back to those a little bit later. The Braves, Sean Murphy's on the 10-day IL with a fractured left middle finger. And so they signed catcher Sandy Leone. And the Diamondbacks traded center fielder Alex Thomas to the Dodgers for Jose Raquina. Those are really the only transactions of note. We'll get into some obituaries. It's been a rough couple of weeks since we've been gone. Ted Turner passed away. And say what you want about Ted Turner. Baseball is where it is today because of Ted Turner and the Superstation and WGN. They laid the template for what baseball could be if you televise all the games to your fan base, and that's what baseball is now. You find a way to watch all the games of your fan base. Because JG and I can remember back in the day where, you would catch 40 Cardinal games and they would all be away games. And they would be on mostly channel 5, sometimes channel 2, and then they went to channel 11.
Right.
Then they went to that pay-per-view thing.
Yeah, I didn't never do that one.
Yeah, that was kind of silly. And it was 84, 85, somewhere around there. They had that deal where Channel 30 out of St. Louis went to be a pay channel, and they started.
It's all squiggly lines and everything.
Terrible.
Yeah, if you didn't pay for it, you could see it every couple of like 30 seconds. Oh, clear it up just enough. Maybe you can make something out. You know.
Yeah.
But,
Ted Turner was a tremendous baseball fan. He was a tremendous baseball man, and he really did get the game. He got the fans and got where it was going. And when he bought the Braves, they were terrible. And it took him a few years to figure out how to properly run a Major League Baseball team. But once he figured it out, he had the groundwork laid. And that was it 91 until the early 2000s, they just won all the time. And so you can't really bring him up without bringing up Bobby Cox, who also passed away. Bobby Cox, at the age of 84. And he did play third base for the Yankees in 68, 69. And in 68, he got over 400 at bats. So they gave him a shot. He just could not get over the hump and become a major league player. So he went on. In 1978, the Braves hired him, and it was his first managing job, and he stuck around for 3 or 4 years, and then they fired him, and they got Joe Torre, and he went to the Blue Jays, and he took the Blue Jays to the playoffs. So the Braves said, we think he'll be good here. So they called him back, and the rest is history. He managed the Braves and the Blue Jays from 1978 till 2010, and he had a career record of 2,497 and 1999, which is the Prince number. That's his number of losses. 15 first place finishes in 31 years, 1 World Series championship, Hall of Famer, Bobby Cox. Dick Hughes of the St. Louis Cardinals from 66 through 68, so he's with them for 67, 68 World Series. He passed away at the age of 88. He only pitched for the 3 years and only pitched for the Cardinals. And while he was there for his 3 years in Major League Baseball, he got to play in 2 World Series and win one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he lived to be 88, and I'm sure he was telling that story to everyone.
I would.
Yeah.
You couldn't get me to shut up. I always thought I got some cards of Dick Hughes. I didn't know much about him. I just knew he played on the team, and he had that one really good year, 67. He was 16-6. But I always thought he was the Bunny Carlos of the team. He had the glasses. He looked real studious, like he was maybe an accountant or something like that. Like Bob Gibson looked fierce. And Steve Carlton just kind of looked wild, and it was big kick and pitch. But Dick Hughes always just kind of stand there with his shoulder on something. And I was like, okay. I didn't know nothing about him, but I knew he had one really good year and a 3-year career, which most of us don't make it to the big leagues. So, man, Dick Hughes. And I had thought about him. I haven't seen him at any events or anything like that, or mentioned much on television, but I remember, and he was living in Arkansas. I know I keep up with everything that's Arkansas, and he was living. He lived out the rest of his life down in Arkansas. So anyway, rest in peace, Dick Hughes.
Very good. Now you mentioned Bunny Carlos.
I love Bunny Carlos.
The human metronome.
Yes, he's always smoking. He always was smoking back there, wearing like a collared shirt.
Do you know that he hasn't recorded with the band for 15 plus years?
Yes.
And they thought they could fire him. He was with Cheap Trick, one of the original Cheap Trick numbers.
Oh, yeah.
And so they fired him because I think it's Rick Nielsen's son. They wanted to play the drums.
That's right. Yes.
And he said, you can't fire me. We all own this band. And so he still gets a quarter of a cut of everything,
Yes, he does.
and he stays home and just
Yeah.
plays local bands.
Locally. Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
I love him, and I love Cheap Trick. I saw them open for ZZ Top about 3 or 4 years ago, and they have so many songs because I know Cheap Trick pretty good, and they played like the '70s show theme. Hello Wisconsin, but they of course says Hello St. Louis when I seen them. But they put on, and their singer, who I'm going to think of his name here in a minute, still
Robin
sounds
Zander.
Robin Zander still sounds great. And they got Tom Peterson back, who had left for a while, but he comes back. And then, of course, Rick Nielsen's still out there flicking the pick and with the hat, all that. And they were very, very good.
And they are from Rockford, Illinois.
Rockford, Illinois.
That's
Yes,
Rockford.
that's right.
And as far as I know, Rick Nielsen, he still lives in Rockford.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's something else. I got a lot of bands from I know I always think of REO Speedwagon and oh man, there's so many of them from that area, in the Illinois area. A lot of bands came out of there, real good ones.
Yeah, Styx came out of Chicago.
That's right.
And
The Smashing Pumpkins, that's a Chicago band.
Chicago came out of Chicago.
Yeah, man, they were real good with the names. Yeah, well, they were the Chicago Transient, something or other at the beginning, and they just dropped it down to Chicago after a while. Oh yeah, man, Buddy Carlos, a very good callback right there. Ted Turner. I was going to say something before we moved on from Ted Turner. I love Ted Turner. He was sort of, I don't know, he had a lot of charm and charisma, and of course the wrestling connection, WTBS, which cable was new at the time. He showed a lot of reruns, and I Love Andy Griffith show, and and he had Georgia Championship Wrestling, which later became WCW. Basically, Mid Atlantic and all of them kind of teamed up together. But man, that was just a great time. I thought it was by far the best wrestling show on TV in the territorial days. He won yacht races. I know he had butted heads with another billionaire because in the yacht races, one ran into him one time, and they were always kind of getting into it. And he wanted to box the guy, have a big pay-per-view on WTBS of him. I don't know who it was, but it's some other billionaire guy that he wanted to fight. And I mean, he was just involved in everything. He had like a Saturday Night Live show called Tush that was on there, and Jan Hooks came out of that show, and I absolutely love that. But what a guy, and he took the Braves to like another level right there, and a lot of great players. And then Bobby Cox, just Hall of Famer, great. His players absolutely loved him. Oh, and I guess I'd be remiss not to mention the Ted Turner story. He owned the team. They were in a slump, and one day he just decided, I'm managing the team. And the commissioner at the time, after one game, shut it down. Like, no, you're not qualified. You do own the team. Connie Mack was the A's coach for years and years, 50 years, but they didn't let Ted Turner manage the one game, and they did lose. So his managerial record is 0-1.
He sucked.
Get rid of him. That's right. Oh, that's it on those guys, though. But they were always a big part of my life.
You mentioned a name. I have quirky taste, what I find attractive in a female.
Oh.
And this is so strange. This sounds like something that a woman would say, and I shouldn't generalize and stereotype it. I think the number one attractive thing in a female for me is, are they funny?
Oh, yeah.
And Jan Hooks was funny.
Crazy funny.
A huge crush on her. I mean, I'm like in my 20s when she's in her heyday with SNL. I was sad when she passed away. But I just think, boy, she not traditionally beautiful, but so funny and so bubbly and cute.
She had that Southern charm too. She just had that. Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I just absolutely loved her. And
then we dated for 3 years.
Oh.
Okay, now I'm starting doing fellowship.
Oh, well, hey, oh, Vince, look at you, man. All right.
Let's get back to death, man. We're getting too happy here. Uh,
Oh,
Another
yes.
former Cardinal passed away, Bob Skinner, an outfielder. He passed away at the age of 95. He had a pretty long career, played from 54 through 66 with the Pirates, Reds, finished his career with the Cardinals right before those two World Series. So poor Bob
Yeah.
Skinner, but he passed away at the age of 95, and that's our obituaries for the I guess the last 2 weeks. So
Last 2 weeks.
what kind
How
of news
about
do you got?
Well,
Your news?
fantasy league, and I didn't date anybody famous, or not that I know of anyway. Infamous, but not famous.
Oh, just
But
like that. I did.
okay, yeah. Who is that? John Lovitz always lie about date. Uh, when he was a liar, he always Morgan Fairchild. Yeah, Morgan Fairchild. You know, he always dated Morgan Fairchild. All right, the fantasy league is going. We're a fourth of the way through the season, Vince. It's come and gone so quickly. My gosh, and I'm enjoying it. I've been watching a lot of other teams and catching up with these players. And I just saw that Alex Manoah, who I was with the Blue Jays and had a great year, I thought he was out of baseball, but he was pitching for the Angels over the weekend. I think so. I was like, good for him, you know. But I did not know he was still in the game. But I will make this quick and brief because all of our friends out there that's involved in the fantasy league, and there's $100 prize at the end of the year. But here we are in the National League. We have Mark. New York Mark is in first place with the Atlanta Braves, and that is 5 weeks in a row he has held down the top spot. I feel like Casey Kasem. He's held down the first spot for 5 weeks in a row. Here it is. Anyway, Atlanta is 28-13 in second place. Coming up from third place is John Recop, and he's the owner, manager of the St. Louis Cardinals, and they are 23-17. They're 4.5 games behind the Atlanta Braves. So that's getting good. Now, falling from second down to third is Tom Maget, good old Tom, and he's the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're 20-20 and 7.5 games back. Atlanta's setting a blistering pace, and everybody's just kind of falling back. Now, fourth, fifth, and sixth has stayed the same. Fourth is the Florida Marlins, which is Larry Wilde, 19-22, 9 games back. Fifth, 4 weeks in a row, the Colorado Rockies, which is Ray Hartman, and 16-25, they're 12 games back. And in last place, Candy Barks, poor Candy, New York Mets, 15-25, 12.5 games back. So Atlanta's really setting a fast pace here in the early going. It's going to be tough for anybody to catch them. So right now, it's
we
Mark.
play the Braves tonight.
That's right.
Series.
That's true. That is true. You know, and they've had some injuries too. So who knows? Well, now we're over in the American League, and Dennis Rose. Now, Mark's had the top spot for 5 weeks. Dennis has had the top spot for 4 weeks with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or the Tampa Bay Rays. 27-13. If they went head to head, the Braves would be a half game better than the Rays right now, but they're holding the first spot. But the problem is the teams in the American League aren't as good as the National League. So we have Scott Dunn in the Sacramento A's, 21-19, 6 games back. So right now, Dennis, you have a 6-game lead in the American League over Scott Dunn. Third place, up from fourth. Who would have thought this? Marlon Dixon, who's leading our contest, is also moved up from fourth to third with the Chicago White Sox. 19-21, he is 8 games back, and he took that White Sox team and crept them up to third place, and that's pretty amazing right there. Manager of the year right there, Marlon Dixon. From up to fourth place from last place, Brody Jackson, and the Royals have gotten hot over these last 2 weeks. A little bit better ball they're playing. They're 19-22, but like Vince says, a lot of pitching problems there. 8.5 back. Robbie Spear, who won 2 years ago in our first year, fell from third to fifth with the Baltimore Orioles. They're 19-23, 9 games back. And in last place, good man from fifth to sixth, Tony Pruno and the California Angels, or Anaheim Angels, 16-26, 12 games back. So them and the Mets they're going to have to get hot if they want to get back in this thing. But we shall see. We shall see. So that's kind of the fantasy league news. And everybody's always asking me, how's my team doing? I can't remember all the other teams. So, you can always watch this over and over and find out the teams, or just ask me and I'll keep you in touch. Well, Vince, talking about managers of the year, in hockey, they're always firing managers. We just need a change. We need a new voice. Well, we had two managers fired, and one was in Boston, which I thought was kind of crazy, but in Philadelphia, and a nice man who did a good job for them, and they were just 9-19, and they got rid of Rob Thompson and put in, and he doesn't have the job for sure right now. He's just the interim manager, which is Don Mattingly, and the Don Mattingly effect is going strong. Since he's become the manager, they are 10-3, and they're tied for second place. And sometimes it's just good to have a new voice, or maybe something was getting stale. I don't know. And I think Thomas is a good man, but I tell you what, Don Mattingly has been around baseball for a long time. And one of the things he's done, I heard this story, Alex Bohm, I think is their third baseman, and he was just struggling. And Mattingly said, take 2 days off. I don't even want you in the cage. You just take 2 days off, relax, get your head together. And he had 2 days off, and he wasn't hitting a lick. And he came in and had like a 4-hit day where he hit a home run and a couple doubles. And he's been on fire since, like 2 or 3 games later. He's doing really, really good. So sometimes it's just you need to step away from the game or need a break or need a rest or something. And I'm kind of pulling for Don Mattingly. The Phillies are always there, but man, it's kind of good to. I love Don Mattingly, and I think he deserves a manager job. And right now, he kind of deserves it. Philadelphia is a great story of how they just all of a sudden turned it around. And Schwarber is red hot. I don't know if you've seen some of the stats or highlights of him, but he's hitting balls in the second, third decks now, which is not too uncommon for him, but he's doing it more consistently at this point in the season. So, any thoughts on Mattingly or anything, or the Phillies, or?
Well, yeah, it's always a waiting game. You have a change, and sometimes that gives you a jolt.
Yeah,
you go on a little run, and you're always going to. What I like about baseball, there's just too many games that goes on.
Yeah,
you can't really luck your way into being a good team. Either you're good, or you're not, or you're somewhere in between. And in baseball, the cream is always going to rise to the top at the end.
you're right.
And I still think that they're a little old. And
Yeah,
I'm
that's true.
I'm just gonna kind of wait and see. I'm not sold yet, just because most teams go on a streak during the year when they win 10 out of 13.
Yeah,
Sometimes it coincides with the managerial change. Sometimes you don't even notice it because they're in the American League West and they're playing all night games and they're beating up on the Angels or somebody. And
that's a good
games
point.
out of 13 against the Angels. You never know how it's going to be.
Never
So
know.
I'm kind of reserving things until a little bit later to see how it goes.
It seems like that our division, we hang on to our managers, let them ride out the year or see what they got. But cities like Boston, New York, remember George Steinbrenner, he used to just, all right, you're out, you're in. Billy Martin 5 different times. But it seems like Boston, New York, Philadelphia, some of those cities, they go through managers a lot quicker than us here in the Midwest do. It seems like we hang on to our managers a little bit longer and see if it can get straightened out or something like that. It just seems like, to me anyway,
Yeah. And with managers, a lot of times if you have like a more of a disciplined type manager, you'll go with like the Joe Madden hang loose kind of guy, and then you'll ride that until it doesn't work anymore. Then you go back to maybe someone who's a little more disciplined. And that's kind of the manager carousel, unless a manager retires, usually you're hiring someone who is different than the previous manager. And, it's like, we'll see how they respond. I'm not saying the Phillies are a bad team. I still think they have a shot at making the playoffs. I just don't think they're dominant like they used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They got a team of superstars, but like you said, they're getting older. We've talked about that before, and um, right now it's going good. But if they had a few injuries, I don't know how their young players are either. Seems like everybody has to deal with injuries, some more than others. The Cubs, I can't believe how much pitching injuries you've had, and you're still looking great. I didn't know you had that kind of depth in your system, but man, everybody just takes their spot and pulls the sled. I'm very impressed by the depth of the Cubbies. A lot of teams don't have that kind of depth. So that's a blessing right there. Well, Vince, I'm always fascinated with nicknames. I go through time, and sometimes the players with cool nicknames stand out, stuff like that. I was thinking, man, baseball doesn't have a lot of great nicknames right now. But did deep research, and I came up with 5 I really like. Now, first of all, Nick Kurtz of the A's, they call him the Big Amish, and okay, that's kind of original, but there's so many bigs. There's the Big Dumper, the Big Cat. There's been several Big Cat. I think 3 different Big Cats. They're Big Mac. There's been so many. The Big Dumper, I give that a 5 out of 10 on the nickname scale. But I seen a highlight, and they said Funky Monkey Max Muncy. That's a pretty good nickname right there. Funky Monkey Max Muncy. I kind of like that. That's a tongue twister right there. So I kind of like that one. And Max Muncy is, you always think of the Dodgers, of course, with Freeman and Betts and Ohtani and Will Smith, but Max Muncy has earned his name, his recognition up there too. He's been just a heck of a player for a long time for them. All right, Jeff McNeil. He's called the Squirrel. I did not know that. The Squirrel. I don't know if that one catches or not. That's kind of a good nickname, the Squirrel. Here's a good one. Vinny Pasquantino of the Royals is Pasquatch, like Bigfoot thing, and they have it walk across the scoreboard sometimes when he's at bat. I think that's pretty darn cool. And finally, this is my favorite nickname of young players today. Mason Miller of the Padres, who's a phenomenal pitcher, the Reaper. And when he comes onto the field, it's like the Undertaker coming into the ring in the WWF. It's all black and white. They lower the lights. There's like lightning striking, and you see like the Grim Reaper on the scoreboard. That's pretty cool. That's a good nickname right there. So, is there a Cub player with a nickname? I was trying to think. I can't think of any of the Cubbies right at current that have a nickname. Sometimes they play with people's name and like, add an O at the end or something that rhymes, but I entered anything in the press.
PCA, it's not much of a nickname, but
it's hard to remember his name. They call him PCA so much.
Yeah, nobody calls him Pete Armstrong.
No, that's true.
Bush is Bushy.
See, they do that kind of stuff. They just add a little something to your name right there.
Yeah.
We have Fermin, and they call him. They're calling him the Ferminator, but he don't play enough to really make a big impact. I figure you got to be like one of the core guys to be the Ferminator, but that is a kind of a cool nickname. But yeah, we don't have any cool nicknames. Some notes of interest. Mookie Betts has been activated, so he's back with the Dodgers. Like they need any more help. Kevin Gausman of the Blue Jays reached his 2,000th strikeout last night, and congratulations on that. I wouldn't have known he had that many strikeouts. That's pretty impressive. And the Nationals had an out the other night, and if you were keeping it in your scorecard, it was 9-4-5-2-6. So right fielder to second baseman to third baseman, and then they got a guy in a rundown. So then to the catcher, then to the shortstop. And they caught him in a rundown in there. So that's a wild scorecard. 2 more things. The Baltimore Orioles had a bobblehead the other night of Tupac Shakur, and he had the little thing in his hair, but I don't know what you call it. Anyway, and he was wearing an Oriole jacket, our jersey, and I was like, that kind of nothing against it, but what he's got with the Orioles, what's that got to do? And evidently, he lived in Baltimore one time, and it was very popular. There was like the first 20,000 people got there, and there was like 20,000 people lined up at the stadium before the game ever started. And it's a good way to get the people in. And the other thing is, Tarek Skubal suffered an injury, and it was one of these where they said there was bodies in his
Google.
arm. Oh, Google, there you go. Hey, I love it. Yeah. Well, he evidently, and it's his last year of this contract, so he might get traded here at the end of the year, but he's had some sort of loose bodies in his arm. And there is a doctor that worked on Tom Brady, and they're calling the surgery the Scooble Scoop. And some people think this could be what Tommy John surgery was to those players at the time whose careers were in jeopardy, and that kind of saved their careers. And some people's had Tommy John twice now, and sometimes come away even better. Well, the scoop thing, they think they can get these bodies, that the loose bodies that was in his arm, and he might be back as soon as 4 to 6 weeks, which could change everything for people who have these types of injuries that would have to set out the rest of the year before. So stay tuned. We'll see how fast he comes back. But that's kind of fascinating. You know, with science the way it is now, they can do so many more things they couldn't do just 2 or 3 years ago. So this could really be a big difference for a lot of teams when pitchers have some sort of injury. So that's
while he's down, this is the time for one of these teams to take a hold of the division before he gets back.
That's right.
And I watched Framber Valdez pitch the other day, and he got lit up, and then their bullpen was so depleted they had to leave him in. And I'm trying to think of who they were playing. God damn it! Because I was in.
It was Boston, wasn't it? Because I remember Contreras
coming out watching it, and Wilson Contreras hit a home run, and the game was completely out of reach. And he did this exaggerated bat flip, and I think the next player hit a home run, so he plunked the next one. You know.
Yeah.
I think it was Trevor Story plunked it, and been suspended for 6 games because he obviously threw at him. But that's a reason why. And I know Framber Valdez has been a World Series pitcher and World Series winner. But last year when he crossed up his own catcher on purpose to throw the ball and call for fast or a curveball, and then he threw a fastball and the catcher got it in the shoulder. I mean, that was Bush League stuff. And this just kind of shows his personality too. There are times you have to take one from your team. You don't got your best stuff, but your bullpen's depleted. You got to think big picture. This is going to help. I've seen many pitchers go out there and get lit up. No, they don't have it, but bullpen's depleted. I'm going to get lit up today, and they go out there like a professional and keep throwing the ball. And I understand. I think I'd be a little angry too. A game that's out of reach, and you tempt the home run by flipping the bat like you just won the World Series. I
know I'm kind of, and that hurt Valdez too when he went to free agency this year. It seemed like it took a long time for somebody, because every team could have used someone like that on their team, but it's like, do we have to put up with that other stuff too? And the Tigers, because that's his old manager, AJ Hinch, and AJ was out there talking to everybody, and hey, we didn't order no hit by pitch, nothing like that. So we'll see how that plays. But Kansas City could get back in if they can stay healthy. Cleveland's already made a move with a new catcher, which I think it's going to absolutely help them.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of situations when they happen like this during the season. And I mean, it's fortunate when you can make a trade in May. It really is fortunate. Oh my gosh, got a Gold Glove catcher. That's awesome. But a lot of teams, there's just not a trade market yet. But this is a time where veterans have to step up and say, hey, the team with the best pitcher in the league, in our division, who went to the playoffs last year, doesn't have that number one starter right now, the most dominant pitcher in the American League. This is our time. We have to start winning games. And some team needs to take advantage of this.
White Sox. Maybe the White Sox, Vince.
I'm not kidding. I listened to the White Sox recap podcast. They are excited.
And the fans are coming back, and it's just exciting. I've watched a couple of White Sox games, the Montgomery and the Japanese player, exciting. They're very good players. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, the pitching's really good. I don't know if they have enough depth to stay in it, but the division is weak. Um, the man alive, last weekend, they had 34,000 for a game.
Great.
That's awesome. We go there next week.
Ooh,
I,
it's gonna be fun.
yeah, this is the first time in a few years I'm thinking, oh gosh, we had to go to the South Side. They're playing pretty good.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. One last thing in general news, Vince. Dusty Baker, we both love Dusty. He's a big part of the game. He just wrote a book called Crossroads, and he's going to be out promoting it. I haven't heard any kind of signings or where he's going to be, but he's got a book about his life in baseball, and it's called Crossroads. And next year, Dusty, the special committee is going to be on managers and people like that, like people in the offices. And Dusty should be on the ballot next year. And I think he's got he should be in the Hall of Fame as a manager. What a legacy. And so it's about his life because I heard an interview and he said, I'm getting older and I've had a lot of players and a lot of people I just love that are gone now. And then people write books after they're gone. And I want to tell my story there's been in many a times where I was at a crossroads and I had to make a decision. And he never planned on being a manager. And he said, Al Rosen took a chance on him, and he went to some sort of thing to learn how to manage. And it was like the 49ers coach Walsh was like a mentor, and some of these people. And anyway, he's been fantastic. I've loved him. No matter if he's playing with, he was a Cubbies manager and a Reds manager.
Yeah.
Always respected him. I know him and Tony La Russa didn't always see eye to eye, but that was just great theatrics and great baseball, and it was fun because they were both very competitive. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there, and I hope Dusty gets in next year. That would just be a great bow on his career right there.
I agree.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Cardinals?
Well, the Cardinals, while we were gone, Alec Burleson was the National League Player of the Week. And, we don't get those very often. And I'm very, very happy for the Cardinals and for him and for my fanhood. But for the week, he was 11 and this was 2 weeks ago, not this past week. He was 11 for 27. He had 407 with 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 8 runs, and 11 RBIs. So Alec Burleson, he's really coming along. I love watching that guy. He's going to be hopefully a healthy and a core piece of the Cardinals for years and years to come. Now, the Cardinals had 17 straight games, and I was sweating it, Vince, because we had some tough teams to play. We had Pittsburgh, the Dodgers, Milwaukee, San Diego. And Seattle in that group. And I wrote you a message at one time. I said, Vince, I've looked at this. If we can go 6-11, I'll be ecstatic because we had some tough pitchers to face. And we end up going 9-7. And there was a 1 rain out. So that's why it only adds up to 16. There was a rain out, and we were 9-7. And I tell you what, just seems like when the hitting kind of slowed down, our starting pitching picked up, and we've got now instead of just 2 guys in the bullpen you can rely on most of the time. But now we got 4, and so that's become more of a strength. And I tell you what, Vince, I really feel we got so many catchers, and there's going to be a market, it looks like, for catchers. Maybe we can trade a few of these guys and move other people up. Podges just doesn't hit much, and Jimmy Crooks and down in Memphis looks like he's about ready. He's ready, and I would love to see him come up. Pozo, who I love, is just not hitting, and Herrera is going to catch a lot. Like tonight, Plante, it seems like he's his personal catcher, so he'll be in the lineup tonight catching. He's done a very good job, although Podges has thrown out a lot of people trying to steal this year. So, he's earned his keep, but defensively, but as far as hitting, he hasn't done a whole heck of a lot. Since we talked last time, Vince, every year the Cardinals induct a few players into the Cardinal Hall of Fame, and I love Brian Jordan and George Hendrick, and they both deserve to be there. But this year, it was kind of a little unfair. It was both Gotti and Albert Pujols. You knew they would be the ones. Usually they have it in Baseball Village, and a packed house is there. But this year they're going to have the ceremony over at Busch Stadium, and it'll probably be packed too. Because I tell you what, in the last 25 years, I don't think there's been and Wayno, maybe. That's the three most important players we've had in the last 25 years. And it was just a pleasure watching them. And then Bill Sherrill, who was our fourth winningest pitcher in Cardinal history, and he played way back in the 30s. He was 165 and 146, 14 years with the Cardinals and 3 with the Dodgers. And so he will also be inducted. And it's good to celebrate these older players, Vince, because you go back and you read about them and you learn about them. And to be honest, I knew the name, but I didn't know anything other than that. And he was around a long time and had success and was a big part of the team. Okay, so the Cardinals were going to send the JC down to the minors and bring up Cesar Peralta up. But soon as he went down, Ramon Urias, who played third base, he won a Gold Glove. He went on the 10-day IR, so they brought Sajaci right back up, but he's not getting much playing time. We've got some other guys down there in the minors that are just tearing up, and one of them's that Blaze Jordan guy we picked up over the winter. He's just lighting it up. I'd like to see that kid up. I love Sajaci, but maybe he needs to play every day down in Memphis. I don't know what they're going to do, but that's just a suggestion. I'm not the boss, and I'm just loving every minute of it. We've got a guy in the bullpen, Vince, I never heard of before this year, George Sariano. He came over from the Marlins, and we traded pitcher Granello, who pitched a little bit for us. And this has just been a blessing as the season's going. He's just getting better and better. And in an ideal situation, we can go Sariano in the 7th, JoJo in the 8th, and O'Brien in the 9th. And that's, like I said, most of the time that works. O'Brien got lit up at the spot. We had 1 out, pitch to go, and O'Brien got hit, and we lost the game to the Padres eventually in extra innings. Also, St. Louis has, the Mariners have the trident. You hit the home run, you got the trident. I think it's the Pirates. They've got a mask, like a welded mask they wear. The Blue Jays have a jacket they wear with all kinds of stuff on the back. The Cardinals now have a dog chain. And Fermin bought the dog chain, and it's got a big thing on it that says there's some fight the dog or something like that. And that's our little gimmick after hitting a home run. And the Cardinals have hit 4 home runs this year. It's kind of exciting. They've been last year we didn't hit many at all. This year we're competitive with the home runs with the other teams. And let's see. I saw something weird, Vince. I tried to look this record up, and they don't have it documented. But the third game against the Padres, 3 different players struck out but reached first base on a wild pitch. Like the ball went down and it got away from the catcher. And I tried to look it up to see what's the record for the most players reaching on a wild pitch. And I are reaching first on a strikeout. And there's it doesn't go back very far, and there's not much on it. So I couldn't look that up. And the last thing I want to talk about here is attendance, because the Cardinals, for all you Cardinal fans out there and just baseball fans, the last couple of years, I've been to games like, ooh, you could just tell, man, there ain't hardly anybody here like the old days. But this year, and we're only a quarter of the way through the season. School's still in session. I think it's just now getting out. This is when things change. From last year to this year, everybody's down as far as their average attendance because people go on vacations and like Wrigley Field, that's a destination. People go to Wrigley Field to see Wrigley Field and the Cubbies, and this year they're very good. So right now the Cardinals, last year they averaged 27,778, which I think may be the ticket holders and they just didn't show up sometime. But this year it's 27,295. We're 11th in the National League, which ain't saying a whole lot at the moment, and 16th overall in baseball, so we're right in the middle. But except for the Cubs and the Brewers, the Reds and Pirates have had games I've watched, Vince, and there's hardly anybody in the stands. There's been like a Tuesday night game, and you'll see like, man, that's like 12,000 people in the stadium. The Pirates have the lowest attendance per average. Last year was 18,827. This year, right now, it's 15,919. So summer's coming. And the Pirates are playing good ball, and I like to see the fans show up there. The Reds last year was 26,000 and some odd number. And this year's 24,000. The Brewers have been really they got good. The fans have been showing up there, but they're a very good team. 32,000 a game last year, and this year then the 29,000. And of course the Cubbies, it was 37,000 last year, and this year it's 32,000. Best attendance in our division. But we're starting to hit the summer months. Our attendance will go up, and as the games go and the rivalries and the pennant chases, it will all 5 teams attendance should go up because there's 5 pretty good teams. So I thought I'd just throw that stat out there, man. And that's it for the Cardinals.
Very good. Well, with the Cubs, unless you've been hiding under a rock or something, you know that we had 2 10-game winning streaks.
Outstanding.
So,
you get tired of winning, Vince? Are you tired of winning yet?
No, I'll tell you how I am. We've lost 2 in a row now, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're never going to win it again. The way it goes, man.
It is.
We have won 15 straight at home.
That's outstanding.
So we had the stretch where we were 20-3, and we are currently sitting in first place. You're currently playing the Braves, and we are tied 2-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Ooh, good game.
Now, that's all good and dandy and everything, but we still have 3/4 of the season to play.
Yeah.
And Matthew Boyd is now on the IL because he was playing with his kids. Or up his knee. It's a freak injury, but it happens. But we're used to freak injuries right now. It's just for how much we've been on the IL, I'm kind of surprised that we're where we're at. Right now, we have a starting staff of Imanaga, who's been there all year, Cabrera, who's been there all year, Tyone, who I think he had one small stint where he was injured a little bit, and Colin Ray. So we have 4, and only 3 of them started the year in the starting rotation. You would think that Assad would be that 5th starter. But Ben Brown has been throwing so good out of the bullpen. We started him in that first game against the Rangers, and he threw 4 hitless innings. And Ben Brown has a 1.82 ERA and a whip of 0.91 right now. He's finally becoming the pitcher I've always thought he had the stuff to become. Assad's become the long man out of the bullpen, which is good person to have for, a long reliever. But can we win with Imanaga, Cabrera, Tyone, Colin Ray, and Ben Brown? No, we can't. We need to find another starting pitcher because there's going to be more injuries. That's just the way baseball goes. So, Sandy Alcantara on a walk here.
Yeah.
This is not a good time to make a trade because teams wait for the trade deadline when other teams get hard at to get better prospects. The Cubs may try to jump that. What have we got to offer for Sandy Alcantara? We don't have a ton left in the minor leagues, but we do have Kevin Alcantara, who's the Jaguar, who is just tearing up AAA, but we don't have anywhere for him. Now, he is still striking out at 41%, but he's got like 10 home runs and a 290 average, and, he's still producing even though he's got a high strikeout rate. We have James Trianos in the minor leagues, and I don't see him as being untouchable. We do have a few small chips. The only person that I see in our system right now that would be untradeable is Jackson Wiggins. Other than that, everything else is on the table. Would that be enough to get Sandy Alcantara? I don't know. With the Mets doing so bad, there's been a lot of reports out of Chicago that the phone is ringing both ways about Freddie Peralta with the Mets. He's on his last year of a contract, so he's on a walk year. So would New York like a Kevin Alcantara outfielder, 6'6", power hitting, great fielding outfielder, possibly. And Freddie Peralta, he knows the division. He knows Wrigley Field. He's pitched against us for years. And boy, I would like to see him pitch against the Brewers.
Ooh. Oh man, you're gonna stir it up.
Eric Lauer has just been let go, and so has Chris Paddock. They're at least worth taking a look at.
Yeah.
But if I see another Cub fan on the internet saying, well, Trevor Bauer just threw a no-hitter in the Podunk League in Podunksville, wherever, and he should be up here, let me be as plain as possible. There are some people who are a cancer to a team. The other players don't want him. The players told the Dodgers, I know he's our best pitcher, but we don't want him back. I don't care if he gets exonerated for all this rape allegations. We don't want that thing back in the clubhouse. And that's where the Reds ended up with him. And that's where the Guardians ended up with him. Nobody likes him. There are some people who are just negative energy. I don't care how much talent he has. The other players don't want him on the team, and it is a team sport. Can he go out there every fifth day and throw 6 innings and maybe give up a couple runs? I don't know. He's not facing major league competition right now. But could he possibly? Do I want that? No. I would rather have the team that we have now with the uncertainty we have now than to bring a guy into this clubhouse where his very presence brings things down. It reminds me of that old SNL skit where they would do Debbie Downer. No matter what they were talking about, she would bring it down, okay? His mere presence does that, and he's been that way since high school. They didn't like him in high school. His teammates didn't like him. His college teammates didn't like him. His minor league teammates didn't like him, and his major league teammates haven't liked him. Why in the heck would you bring this guy into your clubhouse? Rant over about Trevor Bauer.
No, I like that.
So anyway, we tried that once with a guy named Milton Bradley after he hit .330 for the Texas Rangers, and boy, the headaches weren't worth it. We dumped him as I think we Seattle actually traded for him. You know, Seattle was dumber than us at the time. Let's talk about the offense a little bit. After slow starts, PCA, Bush, Conforto, Shaw, and Suzuki are heating up. Suzuki is looking like the best hitter maybe in the division right now. He has great at bats. He has tremendous exit velocity, and even though he missed the first few weeks of the season, I still think he's going to put 35, close to 40 jacks over the fence if he stays healthy. Conforto has just gotten red hot, and I was anti-Conforto. I thought Dylan Carlson was a better option, more versatile. But Conforto has been knocking the cover off the ball. So, hey, did a game-winning home run the other day. I'm not going to knock that. Matt Shaw is just playing wherever he's asked to play, and he's hitting about, I don't know, 280 or so. And he's got some power, and Matt Shaw can steal some bases. Bush is finally heating up. He's had a tremendous stretch during his winning streak. And PCA, seeing his average climb up to 250. He still isn't hitting for a ton of power yet, but, you know, he's a streaky hitter. Those home runs are going to come. Will he hit 30 again? I don't know, but he has. These 5 have been really heating up during his stretch. Bregman is starting to show signs that he's coming to life. He hasn't been terrible, but he hasn't been great. And we need him to be great. And it looks like he's heating up. And Ian Happ has just been very solid all year, hitting about 240, 250. I think he's got around 9 or 10 home runs. And he has a huge on-base percentage because he's got the best eye on the team. He'll walk probably 100 times this year. So very happy with where the offense is. And tonight we open against the Braves, and then we go to the South Side. We play here in Chicago this weekend, and then we have the Brewers coming to town.
Oh man,
next week. So we're doing pretty good, and a couple other things I want to address. There was a sacrifice fly, and this was, I think, last week. And no, it was a hit. PCA's on second. There's a hit into the outfield. PCA's rounding third, and he's coming home. Now, when you're running, and the left fielder has the ball, and he's throwing, you can't see what's going on. And there's not a coach at home plate, not an official coach, but there is a coach. It's called the person on the on-deck circle. Your job is to stand behind in the side of the runner, and you say, up, down, slide this way, slide that way. You have to be animated. They have to see you. And Shaw just kind of did this, and PCA ran across home because there was, as far as he saw, he wasn't telling him to slide. He's just kind of like, doing something with his hands. And he was almost out because he didn't slide. And then he got to the dugout, and PCA confronted him and told him, you have to be more animated. You have to make sure the runner coming home knows slide or don't slide or slide this way, slide. You've got to be more animated. Well, the coach thought that, PCA just dressed down Matt Shaw. No, he didn't dress him down. He was animated, but he was just telling him, you have a job to do. And this is how you do it. And Matt Shaw's kind of a laid back guy.
Yeah.
I don't blame Pete for saying, hey, do it this way. Be more animated. I know PCA's a young player. Matt Shaw, about the same age. Matt Shaw should have had a brain to say, you've played baseball. I learned that in Little League. My Little League coach said, you tell him to stand up, you tell him to slide, you tell him the throw's coming over here,
Yeah.
So it was much ado about nothing, and this is in the midst of that second 10-game winning streak, and everybody's like, oh man, the Cubs are in disarray, Well, they're not, man. Those kind of discussions happen all the time before and after games between baseball players, and they're usually not caught on camera. This just happened to be a situation where it happened during the game, and they weren't in the clubhouse, and he wasn't yelling at him and cussing at him and pointing his finger. He was telling him animatedly, this is how you do it. And I thought, that's how I know this team's in good shape. With people like Nico Horner's a team leader now. You have PCA who's so young, but man, he's already to the point where he's feeling comfortable enough to tell people, hey, you can do better. You can do this. I love players like that. So much ado about nothing.
As an outsider who saw that, I thought, PCA is a young player, but I thought he's becoming a veteran. Quickly, he's becoming a veteran because there's so much to do. Little things behind the scenes were backing up people and hitting the cutoff man and throwing to the right base and picking up your coach when you're running around second quickly. And your team is very, very good. And that's a part of maturity where you guys can go up and talk to each other. And sometimes it could be a little heated, but I thought, ooh, this team is really on a mission to do all the little things, because when you got two teams and they're fighting for 162 games, it's the little things that could make a difference. And PCA was right. And I tell you what, Vince, I'm impressed because sometimes you got a good team, but there's like there's like magic. And it seems like every night somebody different is coming through with the big hit or the big defensive play or something. And I tell you what, I want the Cardinals to win. I want them to win every night. But it's exciting watching this Cub team play. And I kind of look at it as a litmus test of when we do play the Cubs, how far are we away? Can we compete with this team? And right there, little things like that mean a big, down the stretch mean a whole heck of a lot. So I didn't think anything of it either, Vince.
Yeah, and I'm sure Matt Shaw's never going to do that again.
No, I don't think so either.
I was playing in a softball league, and we switched coaches like 10 games into the season, and we got this old guy to coach us, and he was very soft spoken,
Yeah.
and he looked like he was getting ready to die. He had a heart condition. Before the first game that he coached us, the guy who was coaching was also a player. He stepped down to let the hey, we got this Jack Hill coming in. He really knows the game better than me. He's going to coach us. He's an old guy. So anyway, before the game, he said, "Yeah, we were a good team. We're a young, talented team, but we did stupid things. We did things wrong." And he said, for the end, he said, "I don't want any of the outfielders trying to throw anybody out at home anymore. Don't." He said, "You're just throwing the ball away. The ball's going past the catcher. You're underthrowing it, overthrowing it. It's down the line or something. The ball's getting by. They're taking extra bases." He said, "You get a fly ball into the outfield, a sacrifice fly, guy on third, try to throw him out. But other than that, in the flow of the game, if there's a guy running for home and you got a guy who just hit a ball who's running from first, don't let him take that extra base." Now, I thought he was talking to everybody on the team, but me, because I knew I had a gun.
Yeah.
So it was like the second inning. There's a runner on second base. Guy hits the ball to me in left center. And I was one of the players he was talking to without even knowing it. Getting this guy out at home. Of course, I threw the ball about 2 feet over the catcher's head. It hit the backstop on the pole, bounced it, and the guy went from first all the way to third. So I came in, we all screw up. I came in, and this old guy meets me in front of first base. "Are you stupid?" "What? Are you stupid?" "No. What did I just tell you 10 minutes ago? Don't throw anybody out at home." And I was like, mad. I went home from the game. I was mad. You know what? I never did it again. And it was within a few days, he was like the best coach I ever had. I thought, he knows so much I could learn from. But I was young, I was cocky, and I thought I had the best arm that God had ever given to a 5'9" white kid. And
Yeah.
Took my shot and screwed it up.
Oh, we all made up for this.
We won our league that year.
Hey.
After a poor start. And it was, the fundamentals suddenly straightened out, man. We were not trying to throw people out at home. We were keeping runners out of scoring position, all the stuff that you need to do, whether you're playing little league, softball, professional baseball, all the little things we started doing right. So yeah, it may have upset Matt Shaw at the beginning, but I'm sure within a day or two, he's like, man, he's right. And he's never going to make that mistake again. So anyway, that's it for the Cubs. We are going to finish this episode with 5 surprises that we have seen this season. We're a quarter of the way through the season. First of all, JJ, next week you won't be here, will you?
I'll be in Toronto, Canada for a week. So we got Jimmy Turner. We'll be sitting in this chair. I think he's going to break in the house and sit right here and do the podcast.
And I want to tell you something. He's going to cover the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah.
But he's not going to be like JJ. He's going to tell the truth.
Oh,
he's going to say this team sucks. We need to dismantle it. It's terrible.
He's an optimist too. He's got that optimist blood.
We need to get rid of Wynn, trading to the Cubs. We need to trade Walker to the Cubs. We need to trade Witherholt to the Cubs. Yes.
Oh man, I hope they ain't listening. Oh man. Woo.
JJ, why don't you start?
My
surprises this year.
I heard this stat and I was shocked. We both are big fans of Fernando Tatis Jr. His dad played for the Cardinals. Well, he's one of the best players. He's had 144 at bats as of going into today, and he has not hit a home run. And if you just go through his career, he came up in 2019. He's had seasons where 22 home runs, 17, 42, and 21. Did not play in 22. He had an injury and he had a steroid issue. 23 hit 25, 24 he hit 21, and last year 25. And this year he's hit none. His batting average is 243. He's still a dynamic player, but usually I would figure he'd have 6 or 7 by now and just walk into him. So he's struggling right now, but the good news is the Padres are actually a half game ahead of the Dodgers in that division, and none of the marquee guys are really having a hot season. So look out when the Padres figure this out, and we split with them. We could have won all 4. We could have lost all 4. That's a good team, and they could be a threat down the line. So anyway, Tatis not hit a home run. I was shocked by that.
My first surprise is the National League Central. One quarter into the season, every team is above 500.
Yeah.
And we're above 500. We're all above 500 playing really good teams. We haven't been playing a lot of the American League team has a lot of teams under 500. We haven't been playing too many of these American League teams. We've been playing your Dodgers. We both played the Dodgers. We both played the Padres. We're playing the Braves right now. You've already played the Brewers. Have you played the Braves?
No, we haven't played the Braves yet.
Yeah, you've already played the Brewers. We both played the Devil Rays.
Yes, they're good.
There's just a lot of teams in the Central that are playing good. And it's not because other teams are injured. The Central, the Reds, they've had their share of injuries. We've had our share of injuries. The Brewers have had their share of injuries. The Cardinals and the Pirates have done pretty good. The Pirates have had some pitching injuries, but not to the extent that the other teams. But these are 5 really good teams that are playing above 500. And if you would have told me before the season, quarter way into the season, every team in the Central is going to be above 500, I would have laughed. I would have said, no, maybe 4, not 5. The Cardinals, there's no way they're going to be above 500. Where's the crow? Where's the crow? I'll eat it right now.
Vince, do you think maybe 3 teams could come out of this division when it's all said and done?
I do.
You got a shot. You got Phillies. I'm not giving up on them and the Padres, but there could be 3 teams come out of this division, and it wouldn't surprise me any of the 3 in our division. It could be any of them, Cubs especially, but the other 4 teams, 2 of them could make it. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, Vince, my second thing is, I did not know Major League Baseball has not had a 20-game winner the last 2 seasons. But as we hit the quarter mark, we have, baseball, we love to do this. Oh, if we stretch it, okay, at a quarter mark, if we can time it by 4, this is how they're going to do. But right now, in the MLB, we have 11 players with 5 or more wins. So there's 11 guys on a pace to win 20 games, which would be nice. The last 20-game winner was in 2023, and it was Spencer Strider for the Atlanta Braves, and he won 20. And then in 22, it was Kyle Wright who played for the Atlanta Braves. But I'm just going to do a quick rundown here. One guy has 7 wins. It's Aaron Ashby, a reliever for the Milwaukee Brewers, is 7-0. Now, I look back, and the most wins for a reliever, they call them vultures because they come in late in the game and then they pick up the win and take off with it. But there was a pitcher for Pittsburgh in 1959, Roy Face, had 18 wins as a reliever. So Aaron Ashby, if he can keep up any kind of a win here and a win there, he might break that all-time record. Okay, 2 players have 6 wins, and that's Chris Sale and that Sariano kid from the Angels, who's just been dynamic. And Sariano's got 61 strikeouts. I mean, he's on a hot streak right now. 9 games started. Then you have the rest of them. There are a bunch of teams, players with 5. You got the Dodgers have this Warbersty pitcher for he's 5-1. You got Soroka from the Arizona's got 5 wins. Paul Skeens, who's pitching tonight, is got 5 wins. Splittler from the Yankees has got 5. Rupp from the Giants. Davis Martin from the White Sox has 5 wins. and George Kirby of Seattle all have 5 wins. So I'd like to see a 20-game winner. So right now, I don't know. I think Leahy for the Cardinals has 4. Who's the winningest Cub pitcher right now? Who would that be? Anybody got 4 wins yet?
Alan Ray going into tonight is 4-1.
Good for him, man. He's been exceeded all expectation. So right now, outside chance we might have a 20-game winner. These guys stay healthy, and it helps if you're on the Yankees or something like that too. And pitching good. So anyway, 11 guys right now on a pace for possibly somebody getting a 20-game season, and that's my second take.
Well, you mentioned this guy. This is my second big surprise, Jose Soriano. 1.66 ERA, 6 wins, 1.05 WHIP, 28.4% strikeout rate, got 61 strikeouts at 51, and a third innings over 9 starts. Nobody saw this coming, probably especially him. But what impresses me more about anything else is that he is on a pace for 200 innings. Now, are these numbers going to hold up? Probably not. But it's still a great story, and maybe he has figured something out and he's put himself in the next level. I have yet to watch him pitch a whole game, so hopefully I can do that. I don't remember if early in the season we faced him or not. If we did, it didn't make an impression on me, but it was like the first or second series of the season. So, but yeah, those are eye-popping numbers coming from a guy who's come out of nowhere.
Outstanding. I love those baseball stories like that. Well, my third surprise of the year, and this is, it's not the player, it's what he's doing. My third is Jose Ramirez, who we both love. We talk about Jose Ramirez almost every episode on here, but Jose Ramirez has 16 stolen bases this year. Now, if you told me Chandler Simpson of the Tampa Bay or PCA or Victor Scott, I'd say, oh yeah, okay, I can see that. But Ramirez has 16 stolen bases. He's now officially won over 300 stolen bases for his career, 303 lifetime stolen bases. He's played 14 seasons. Time flies, Vince. It doesn't seem like 14 seasons. He's 33 years old, and he's 168th all-time in stolen bases. And with all the players that have played, that's remarkable. Now, to kind of put that in perspective, he's 1 steal behind Reggie Sanders. That's kind of interesting. And he's 2 steals behind Vida Pinson, 2 outstanding players. So he's getting there. So I found, just for our own fun, the closest Cub and the closest Cardinal he's to. All right. Again, he's at 168. At 156 is Jose Cruz, who played with the Cardinals early in his career. And he's 156 with 317 stolen bases. And then for the Cubs, at 160th is Andre Dawson with 314 stolen bases. So Ramirez has got a lot more baseball in him, it seems. And man, he's getting up there. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day he could get in the 400s. Who knows? But he's on an incredible pace. And there's not an aspect in the game that he doesn't excel at. So he's just fun to watch. And I'm going to enjoy him while he's out there.
My next surprise is that the Mets, Toronto, and Houston are terrible. The Mets are 15-25 in last place. Toronto is 18-23, but they're 9.5 games out. Houston is 16-26 in last place. These are all teams that are expected to be challengers of their division and probable playoff teams. And the way it looks right now, someone's going to have to get hot. There's plenty of time to get hot, but boy, the Mets seem like a rudderless ship, and Houston's just old. But Toronto's very baffling along with the Mets. With all that talent, they should be a little bit better than what they are now. They should be like 23-18 instead of 18-23. But yeah, I looked at the standings. I thought, well, that's surprising. We got 3 teams that we thought would be playoff contenders who are just playing pretty bad baseball right now.
Vince, we always talk about this team, the Tampa Bay Rays. They're in the American League East, which almost every year they go, oh, that's the best division. I mean, you got the high profile Yankees and Red Sox and Orioles and of the Blue Jays who went to the World Series last year. And everybody always, I think, underestimates Tampa Bay. And they're kind of like Milwaukee. Every year you go, well, Milwaukee, how do they do this? They trade off all their best players, but there they are. Milwaukee's in second place. Tampa Bay is in first place, 2 games up in the AL East, and the Yankees are playing incredible baseball. Since they're 27-13, 9-1 in their last 10. Now, I know that don't impress you, Cub fans. You've had 2 10-game winning streaks, but for teams like the Cardinals, we take that in a heartbeat. They are 14-4 at home. Who would have thought the Trop would be a home field advantage? But last year they had to play in the minor league team stadium, so 14-4 at home. And this team seems to have a lot of stab-off fair or pizzazz around them, and they're fun to watch, and they can hit the daylights out of the ball, and they're just fun to watch. So they haven't been in the playoffs in 2 years, and unless some major injuries or anything, and Tampa Bay don't really make big impacts at the trading deadline, but maybe they can pick up something they need. But 13 years, Kevin Cash has been the manager of that. He's the winningest coach in Tampa Bay history, and I like that stability. And a lot of players on that team I love. And Tampa Bay, if you haven't watched him yet this year, give him a try, because we played him at the beginning of the year, and I think we got him before they really started gelling, and we got out of there quick. But that team is going to be a threat to anybody this year, and they're fun to watch, the Tampa Bay Rays.
My fourth surprise is Sal Stewart.
Oh,
9
yeah.
home runs, 29 RBIs leading the National League, 7 stolen bases, and a 987 OPS. I don't know if those numbers are sustainable, but boy, the Reds last year, their offense was not that good, and they play in a hitter's park. And this year, the offense is much better, and leading the way is Sal Stewart, who's having a tremendous year. I don't mean to be sacrilegious, but he may get the fans to start moving on from Joey Votto. He may be the next great Reds player if he stays healthy and continues. Always had the potential. Everybody, we always knew that he was coming, but we heard about other players who were coming, and they came and they went. But he looks like he's figured some things out, and of course the league is going to adjust, and he needs to adjust, and that's the cat and mouse game that goes on in your career as a Major League Baseball player. But I'd love to see Sal Stewart continue this and bring some more fans into Cincinnati.
Yes.
Great baseball town. He's fallen on some hard times. Made the playoffs last year, but this year I think they're better than last year. And if pitching holds up, it'd be another playoff team.
I think so, man. They're a really good team. Well, Vince, I want to apologize to you right here. You're right. I was wrong. I don't like change. I like consistency, and the ABS, where they call the balls and strikes, the automatic balls and strikes thing. I absolutely love it. I think it takes a lot of the arguing out of it. There's a strategy to it, because a lot of teams will use up their things at the beginning, and then at the end, when you really need it, they don't have any left. And we've taken advantage of that, because some teams were just wrong. We've got some players on our team that's really good at pick, saying, wait a minute, I don't think so. You got to be quick, though. I've seen sometimes where they said, no, you weren't quick enough. Seen that a couple times this year too. But I'm absolutely I still do not like the DH in the National League. I hate it, but that's me. I'm only one, but the ABS I absolutely love it. At the ballpark, everybody gets excited. The game stops. Everybody looks at the scoreboard, and if you're the home team and your team got it right, you cheer. And if it went the other way, you're like, oh, it's fun. But right now, the top catchers of calling these are Mitch Garver at 91% and Ivan Herrera, who's at 90%. And they're very good at calling that. And I love watching Herrera behind the plate. And a lot of times he's kept, instead of the walk, he's kept the bat going, and we've gotten out of it. Batters, Xavier Bogaerts, 86% of the time is correct. Davis Schneider's 83% and Pete Alonso 83%. And the Diamondbacks are the best team at challenging balls and strikes. And the worst team is the Washington Nationals. So I'm just so far, that's how it's going. And again, Vince, I was wrong. I love it. And I hope it stays for the rest of the time. So the ABS is my fifth thing.
Didn't we have a game just a day or two ago where both the hitter and the catcher challenged the call?
Well, sometimes they pay. Sometimes after a swing or a stop or whatever, they touch their helmet. And I was like, oh, I think they got to verbally tell the ump too, like I'm challenging, because a lot of guys that have a nervous tick of doing this, and the ump might think he's challenging it. So you got to verbally let the ump know too.
I think the pitch was called a strike.
Okay.
And the catcher thought it was a ball. Or no, it was called a. I don't remember how it went,
but both of them challenged.
Both of them challenged, yeah.
That's good.
My final surprise is from the Nationals, and they need some good stories.
Yeah.
Louis Weimer,
yeah.
I saw play a lot with the
Brewers,
and I saw him last year with the Toledo Mud Hens or whoever he is playing for whenever
yes.
I saw the AAA game. He is hitting 348, and he has an OPS of 1.074.
Wow.
Yeah, he's only playing part-time, but he's got 6 extra base hits, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs. I thought the guy was done. He didn't look good in AAA last year when I saw him. I thought, he's done. And then when I saw him when we played the Nationals, I thought, oh, there's Joey Weimer. And then he crushed us. And he's been crushing a lot of teams. So I think that's a fantastic story. I hope he keeps it up and maybe gets a few more at-bats where he, can realize his potential. But that was a really cool story.
Yeah, good for him. I know he's popular up in Milwaukee when we went up there.
JJ, I have
yes, sir.
1987 tops.
Ooh, 87. All right. Mine is 92 Top Stadium Club. Ooh, right there. I love the photography in these. You want to go first?
Oh, 97. Sure, why not?
I'll say 2 Hall of Famers for you.
I'll go with 2 also.
All right.
And I got
the same page.
I got some gum.
Oh, look at that stuff. It's radioactive.
Yep. There's some more of it. Down pieces. And a little more. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Some kind of a promotion thing. Hey, promotion.
Oh yeah.
Oh, first card.
Training or something.
Blue Jays leaders for 1986.
Wow.
Guess who led the Blue Jays in home runs in 86?
86. That's before the World Series. George Bell?
No, he led the team in RBIs.
Okay. 86. Could that be? No, he was with the Cubs. I was going to say Dawson, but he was still with the Cubs at the time. Who would it have been? I don't know, Vince. Who was it?
I'll give you a hint. The guy had a cannon arm. Played right.
Glenn Allen Hill or somebody like that?
Jesse Barfield led the team.
Oh, Jesse Barfield. I'll be darned.
Lloyd Mosby, 32 stolen bases.
Good player.
And Tom Hickey had 27 saves for that team.
Oh, yeah. It was a joy watching him that one year he was with St. Louis. Hickey was good.
Former Indian and former Brewer, one of the best defensive center fielders of the 70s, Rick Manning.
Yes, I like Rick Manning. He don't get enough love.
No, he could cover some ground. All-Star. I never knew this guy made an All-Star team. He did with Cleveland, former White Sox. Tony Bernazard.
I didn't know he was an All-Star either. How about that?
He was the starting second baseman for the 86 All-Star team.
I'll be darned.
Wow. Shocked me.
Learn something every day.
Former Cub, former Cardinal, former Brave, the late great Bruce Sutter. There's one Hall of Famer right there.
I love Shooter.
Former closer for the Rangers, Mr. Jeff Russell.
Oh yeah, big years. He had a few big years.
Former Athletic, former Cardinal, former Tiger, backup catcher Mike Heath.
Oh, I met him. Very nice guy.
Yeah, and baseball was good, but man, when he invented the Heath bar, that's when his finances really.
That's his legacy right there.
Former Cardinal, former Red Sox, Rich Gedman.
Oh yeah, back up with us, but he was reliable.
Former Philly, Luis Aguayo, backup infielder.
I don't know him.
You may remember this guy from your Navy days for the Seattle Mariners. Outfielder, designated hitter, Ken Phelps.
Yes, I remember him. So, a solid player. I think it was like a fourth outfielder. Bless you. Like a fourth outfielder, I think.
He had a couple seasons where he hit 24 home runs.
Ooh, that's pretty good. Kingdom was big, too.
Oh, former Ranger, former Indian, and I think he may have played with the Mariners too, Pete O'Brien.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Nice career.
Former Reds pitcher, Ted Power.
Oh, yeah. Look at him. He's got a smug look on his face.
Yeah,
Ted Power.
He was a competitor. Former closer for the A's. And he also pitched for the Dodgers a few years after this and was thrown from a playoff game because he had a substance. Jay Howell.
Jay Howell. Oh, yes.
Oh, I forgot this guy played for the Cubs. Former Yankee, former Padre, former Cardinal, and former Cub. The man with the big butt. Outfielder Jerry Mumphrey.
I didn't know he had a big butt. But yeah, he was pretty good. He had speed. Very good defensive outfielder.
Yeah. One year, I think he stole a bunch of bases and was never caught. He had like a huge amount of bases.
Streak going.
Twice is great.
I think there for 1 year there was Mumphrey, Scott, and Brock was our outfield. You know? I think that was it.
That was a pretty good outfield. I mean, Brock was old at that time, but former Met, also former Tiger, former Cub, Howard Johnson.
Oh, Joe. Yeah, we caught him. He had his bat rigged, and they put it in there, and somebody crawled through and got it out of the ceiling and took it. Yeah, Howard Johnson, we're on to you.
Former Cubs All-Star catcher, former Cardinal farmhand, Jody Davis.
Oh, yeah. I like Jody Davis. Good guy.
For the Phillies, we have pitcher Fred Tolliver, who was stuck.
Oh.
There you go.
I don't know him.
And our last player.
Come on, Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer, but an all-star, really good hitter, Mr. Cecil Fielder.
Oh, yeah. 40 home runs a lot of years with Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
One Hall of Famer. You're going to have two, though. You are going to have two.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say 3. Let's see here. All right. My first one here is, you know what? This guy was around the league a lot, and he had a lot of success. Kevin Tapani. Right
former Cub.
Oh, was he? See, I know there he is with the Twins.
Yeah,
I always think of him with the Twins. Did he have a good career there? Played just a year or something?
He pitched good for the Cubs.
All right. This guy here, Ron Winmeyer. I like the A's uniforms, but I do not know that guy.
Oh, I know him.
Do you?
Okay. Yeah. He works at Walmart now.
There he is. He's on the back of a milk carton if anybody's interested. Oh, the gambler himself. Good nickname, by the way. Kenny Rogers. There he is. And Kenny Rogers Chicken. So there he is. And I always think of him in that Detroit World Series where he had that foreign substance on the heel of his hand. And
it was just dirt.
It was just dirt. Of course it was. Oh, this guy, what a beginning of his career. 40-40 man. I've got to meet him. the one and only Mr. Jose Canseco.
Jose.
Ozzy's brother. All righty. Who else we got here? Scott Lewis of the Twins. I do not know this guy. I don't know him. I don't know. All right. We have Paul Ferris. Now wait a minute. What's going on? I don't know half these guys.
I don't know him either.
No, I don't either. My goodness. All right. You know this guy. You were a Royals fan. Very good. I put him as the number 2 starter on that team. Mark Gubazon.
Oh, yeah.
He was very good. Saberhagen, I always thought was the ace, but he'd been an ace on most other teams.
Saberhagen, Guzman, or
Danny Jackson? Was it Danny Jackson?
And Charlie Brandt.
Oh my gosh, man. Okay. This is Mark Guthrie of the Twins. I got a lot of Twins from 92 right there. But yeah, he had a nice career. All right. We have Joe Johnston of the Royals. And to be honest, I don't know who he is, Vince.
I don't either.
What is going on? We're going to have a big one here in a minute.
What are we doing in 92? Are we in a coma?
I don't know. Now, I know you know this guy. Not a Hall of speed. I always thought of it. He had so much potential. Alex Cole right there with the Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very fast. Yeah, a lot of fast players. Okay. This guy may one day be in the Hall of Fame, but he's not right now. But his dynamic duo, the double play combination from Detroit, Sweet Lou Whitaker, right there. And that's a good picture of him right there. Sweet Lou was always just
had a war in the 80s. I don't know what people are thinking.
I don't either. He played forever and world champion. All right. Oh, here's not a Hall of Famer, but a very good player. Everybody knows Darryl Boston there with the Mets.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to the guy on the floor. He must have wiped him out or something right there. All right, we're getting down here. This guy I thought was going to be part of the Cardinals for years to come. He was a good player, actually catcher, and they made him a third baseman because Pagnozzi was our catcher at the time. And I like this picture. Todd Zeal. Yeah, Todd Zeal.
Played a little bit for the Cubs at the end of his career.
At the end of his career. All right. Here is another the Giants. Catcher Steve Decker, the third string catcher right there. This pack has been a disappointment, I'll be honest with you.
They should have given you money to take this pack.
Yeah.
Here's $5. Take this pack.
It wasn't on discount. I got it for $3. And finally, another Minnesota player, and Paul Abbott, which you probably remember Paul Abbott.
Oh, yeah.
There. That's a good picture of him, but not a Hall of Famer. So the highlight of my set was Lou Whitaker right there, but no Hall of Famers in that pack.
Wow. Between the two of us, we got Bruce Sutter.
Well, you know what? He's all-time great.
Yeah. Well, next week, Jim Turner will be here as JJ holds out for more money again.
I'll be on strike out there by Walmart.
That annual thing where you hold out for more money, yeah?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And make sure you send some videos of Rogers Center.
I sure will. I'm going to play the 10 questions in a minute with some people, and we'll have a good time, and I'm learning a new language. I'm going to learn to speak Canadian, so I've been really diving into these Rosetta Stone tapes and everything so I can talk to these people.
I know a few Canadian words. A boot.
About. Organization. They say organization.
Yeah. Organization. Yeah.
Yes.
Calgary. Yeah. There's a few Canadian words I learned. So.
Yes.
Had beer.
Oh yeah. You only need a few things. Beer and I guess what is it? Bacon, some kind of back bacon or something like that. You know them two things, you can survive in Canada.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, we'll see you next week, and we'll see JJ in 2 weeks.